it is not missed upon me that, the party that he is running in, and that I have concerns with. But there are concerns with every third party, basically. There just are. However, you alluded to something, and I actually want to show this, because I'm not sure if all my viewers seen this yet. But this came out. It's out in the public now. So I'm going to share it. Shout out to, excuse me. Shout out to Indie News Network. They're a friend of the channel. They actually have a video that was at the Worker Strike Back event in Manhattan that came out yesterday. It says, breaking in Worker Strike Back event in Manhattan, New York City. Chris Hedges tells Brianna Joy Gray that he has set up a meeting between the Green Party and Cornel West and recommends he run on a Green Party ticket out of concern of the People's Party's lack of ballot access. So, you alluded to this. Let's talk about it.
Hedges, about this announcement that Cornel West is running. He's decided to run with the Movement for the People's Party. I know Socialist Alternative, Worker Strike Back has advocated for a new party, a new third party. There have been questions about why not run with the Green Party. MPP has been embroiled in a degree of controversy over the course of the last couple of years. And I wonder what you make strategically about of that particular choice and how the left should look at it.
Just off the record. I've been playing with my phone because I set up a meeting with Cornell and the Green Party for a long time because of the issues you just raised.
Okay. So right there, he just said that he set up a meeting with the Green Party and Dr. Cornel West for the same issues that she just raised.
Very good. I think that's fine. So here's the thing. I talked about this morning too. Look, I want there to be a third party movement in this country. All right. That's including the libertarians. Okay. And I believe in being consistent. I believe in freedom of speech. And I believe in the existence of Americans having the choice. I'll even go a step further and say abolish all political parties, but we're not there yet. And hell, I want all states to have citizen ballot initiatives. I want them to be citizen ballot access, all that kind of good stuff. I want that to happen.
That's reasonable.
I think, okay. Maybe leftist mafia, maybe Humanist Report, and everyone else has been chiming in about Dr. Cornel West running with the People's Party. Yes, the People's Party is not perfect, but what is your solution then? What, you're going to cancel him now? Everyone's going to act like a goddamn Puritan now because, oh no, Dr. Cornel West is with the People's Party. Well, then what's your goddamn solution then? Go back to voting for Biden? That's it? Carrying water for the Democrats? That's it? I'm not doing that. Okay. And I will be consistent on that. I'm not going to be puritanical and cancel somebody because, oh, Dr. Cornel West is in the People's Party. I may not agree with it, but I'm not going to cancel. Like, oh, that's it. It's over. He's my hero. I must cancel him now. No, God damn it. I want to see how much is he really going to fight. I want to see if the People's Party is going to follow through. And if this is what it takes to build maybe the movement that was destroyed by Bernie Sanders, because he did destroy that political movement. Bernie Sanders is not running. That cuck just endorsed Biden. So he's out the game. Bernie's time is over. So if Dr. Cornel West is going to be running, and maybe he switches to the Greens, I'm still okay with Socialist Alternative and all these workers' parties. And yes, People's Party forming a coalition and actually trying to get him on the ballot. Okay? I want to see that happen. I demand to see that happen. Now, I don't know what's going to come of this. Maybe Dr. Cornel West says, I'm not going to run with the Greens. I'm made with the People's Party. That's who I'm going to be with. If the Greens want to help out the People's Party, fine. But everyone needs to come down to a conclusion of, okay, how are we doing this? Because when I look at the left movement right now in this country, all I'm seeing is absolute cannibalism and puritanical logic. I must cancel you. I must cancel you. I must cancel you. Well, then there's nothing here. And the leftist movement, the remnants of the Bernie Sanders movement, deserves to be ridiculed for all time. Because if you are expecting perfection in humans, you're living in a fantasy realm. I want to see what happens from this meeting. I'm very curious to see what the overall conclusion will be. Will Dr. Cornel West go to the Greens? Fine. But that's still not going to stop corporate media from smearing him when you have big brain idiots from BSDNC calling him right wing. Now, again, look at who Dr. Cornel West is. He's been consistent. He calls Biden, brother Biden. He calls Bernie, brother Bernie. He even calls Trump, brother Trump. And I might criticize all three of those people, but hey, that's who Dr. Cornel West is. That's who he's always been. Consistent. That's who he is. Have you not been paying attention? Just like the people trying to cancel Roger Waters. He's been doing that freaking show for 40 years. You're trying to cancel him now?
We're going to get into that too. I want to jump into that. I didn't have it on the thumbnail because I already made it, but.
So in other words,
yeah,
good on this. I hope there's a reasonable conversation amongst all sides and maybe the idea of building a united coalition front. I hope that happens. That's the best case scenario. I want to see that happen. And for all these people saying this person must be canceled, this person must be canceled, pretty soon you're going to be by yourself in your little echo chamber. And I will not tolerate that. I do not tolerate puritanical logic. And the reason why I don't tolerate puritanical logic is because that puritanical logic is embedded in American society. Who were the Puritans? They were the goddamn freaking Pilgrims. And before anyone else says, oh, the Pilgrims were persecuted, no, the people of England told them to get the F out. The Puritans, when they were in power, canceled Christmas, forbade people from drinking, smoking, all this stuff. No fun. They told the Pilgrims to get out. That puritanical logic of work, get closer to God, or you have to be like us, or else you are excommunicated. What kind of life is that? What kind of mindset is that? That's boring, pathetic, and it shows a sign of weakness to me. And there are people like that in the left and in the right. Get over yourself. Nothing's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's continue because he goes further.
Recommend a Green Party run in the alternative, or
I'm recommending that the Green Party, that Cornel runs as the Green Party candidate.
yes.
Woo! Yes. Yes. Yes, please.
Just an aside. I actually appreciate when somebody gives direct answers to questions instead of skirting around. Right?
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Agreed. Please do it.
But yeah, I share all your concerns, and just on the issue of ballot access, the People's Party Act doesn't have it. And having worked with Ralph in his campaigns, I saw all of the impediments, most of the impediments he throws to make it impossible for a third party candidate.
So yeah, that's the end of it. But let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say if somebody like Chris Hedges was the campaign manager?
I would say that's a very smart tactical decision and something that the Bernie Sanders campaign should have done. I say this for in regards to Chris Hedges because, again, consistency. That's what matters to me the most, being consistent, okay? Mm-hmm. I think that he has had experience in the realm of politics. He knows all too well what to expect from the neoliberal establishment system. If there was one advice I would give to Chris Hedges and to the potential Green People's Party coalition or whatever kind of coalition should form up, your main goal is for the party, whatever it may be, Green or People's, to get enough approval and support in the polls in which not only will you be on the ballot, but on the debate stage, but the idea of also then being federally recognized as a new political party. You're not going to win the White House. I don't think a third party movement's going to do that. Not in this. If there was going to be a third party potential winning, the infrastructure should have been built in 2016. I think Chris Hedges can be an outstanding general and somebody who will be ready to fight against the smears from MSNBC, CNN, or anyone else in establishment media. He has the foresight to know what to expect, and is a good friend of Dr. Cornel West, who, speak the truth to him and to talk to him and to be reasonable. So I think there's a lot of things to deal with, and he would be a good front card person to have as a campaign manager. I can't think of anyone else that could fill the job better than him, unless you got another conclusion.
Well, some people in the chat are saying as running mate instead.
No, general. He sometimes, I know it sounds great to have a running mate, but if you need someone who is seasoned enough to know what to expect from the media. He was with the Ralph Nader campaign. He's been through that. He saw what happened to Bernie Sanders in 2016. I remember even speaking to Chris Hedges in 2016. He wiped his hands with Bernie. He was like, Bernie abandoned the movement. And I, as naive as I was when I was in Philly, I didn't think that was, I thought that was a little bit of extreme. But now looking back at it, boy, was I naive. He was correct. So I would say have him as a manager, as your campaign manager, and then put him somewhere to be close in your administration. As a running mate, maybe Kshama Sawant, because he said that. He said that at the table at the very end. It was very quiet. The microphone didn't pick it up. But he said, hey, Kshama Sawant is VP, to which I have to say, that makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm down with that. But I need a fighter.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like I said, I won't be endorsing anybody. And as far as but at the same time, someone like West brings forth a big conversation that needs to happen all over the nation regarding these things. And, it gets a lot of people, particularly poor and working people, talking and thinking. And so this is why channels like yours at Heartlands, mine, RBN, people like Midwestern Marks, MCSC Network, Nico House's new channel, even Jimmy Dore. Like, there's so many people that can harp on this, right? And then go, okay, we know you guys want to cancel all student debt. Let's move it further to also having college tuition free, right? And all these different things, so that we push it even further, because, as old saying goes, if you shoot for the stars, you might get the moon. And so, and this isn't necessarily my opinion to keep the system in place, but this is a way to kind of safeguard the people in a way while we take this system, while we end this system and create a new one. You know what I'm saying? Or even if it invigorates people to want to change the system, because I honestly do think that nothing's going to come about positively except for the ideas that are put out by Dr. West. And so if that happens, and they see the Democrats being the Democrats, and they see the Republicans being the Republicans, because we know we're going to count on the snakes being who they are, then that's going to ignite people into going, you guys rigged it against this guy, and we liked him. And so now we're going to take this system and we're going to flip the table over and we're going to change it. And so this is something that I would like to see. It's basically taking, I hate to put it this way, but it's like taking the little baby hippo, right? The one guy that everybody likes, right? Everybody's chill and cool with Dr. Cornel West for the most part. They got some disagreements with him, but he's a nice guy. Everybody knows he's a nice guy. And then watch him get abused by this system. And once he gets abused by this system, it's like putting a baby hippo on a log in the middle of the river, and you have all of the crocodiles surrounding him and ready to pounce. And as soon as those crocodiles are ready to pounce, the mother hippo, aka the people, go flip the table over and like, we're done with this. I don't know if it's going to happen that way, but I'm saying that could be a possible scenario where people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're sick and tired of this duopoly. What are your thoughts?
Agreed. I wouldn't underestimate Dr. Cornel West too much. I mean, yes, he's a nice guy, but I will not underestimate him being brutal and tough when it needs to be. Again,
Okay.
first, what needs to happen, and I'm quoting Due Dissidence on this because Hardlands Media, Due Dissidence, and RBN have been doing the post-duopoly show these past few weeks, and again, I want to give this up until September because I'm taking this from Due Dissidence. I want to see if this campaign is truly going to be building the strong infrastructure movement to get on the ballot and be on the debate stage. Because again, for all we know, what could happen, worst case scenario, this conversation with the Greens doesn't go well, and everyone dismisses the idea of a coalition, and People's Party still can't make it on the ballot. So in other words, Dr. Cornel West is running, but he's only on the ballot in 3 states. Then that's a ship stuck in the water. And the Greens, they only got the access to 21 states to be on the ballot. So everybody needs to work together. And the only person that can lead it would have to be Dr. Cornel West and his ability to unite people. And look, when push comes to shove, people will surprise you. So maybe people will say they've had enough. Maybe his messaging and campaign is enough, but the thing is, he has to build that infrastructure up now, in order to make an impact amongst potential voters. But the main goal isn't winning the White House. The main goal is getting your party to be recognized federally so it can get the proper funding.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be at least 5%. I think you need to get 5% of the vote.
Yeah, you need to get 5%. Yeah, you need to get 5. No, actually, you got a little bit. You got. If anything, knowing third parties and what they have to deal with, you got to at least get higher than that. Yes, 5% is the threshold, but you want to shoot a little bit higher than 5%. You want to at least get higher than that. Yeah, shoot for 10 or shoot for 12 at least that, and that's an astronomical number, and that is a big number and a tall order to ask for. And same thing too in regards for approval rating or being recognized by voters. You want to get at least above 15%. So that's what you have to do, and that's the arduous task that Dr. Cornel West's campaign has to do. Same thing, and look, I would say this to the Libertarians: look, your main goal isn't winning the White House because that ain't going to happen. All right, it won't happen unless something really stupid happens. But I'm not going to do a what if because that's insulting the audience. You have to be recognized on the national level, and you have to get then that federal funding. So Libertarians, Greens, People's Party, quit screwing around here. I'm your biggest cheerleader, but I will be the same person to also call you out on not doing it. And by the way, my state, the Greens are not on the ballot. In my state, the People's Party is not on the ballot. My state is notoriously draconian to third parties. All right, a Democratic candidate or Republican candidate has to at least at the bare minimum get 2,000 plus signatures. Greens and Libertarians, and yes, even you, People's Party, have to, if you want to be secure, at least with Illinois state laws, get around 30,000. That's the number you have to do, because what Illinois will do is like, oh, this person didn't sign their name properly. Oh, there's no I here. That's wrong. Oh, the T isn't crossed. This A looks like a B. You might think I'm exaggerating, but in all my previous interviews that I've done with my colleague Daniel towards third parties here in Illinois, the story is always the same. It's extremely harsh and brutal, and usually the Illinois Greens and Illinois Libertarians have to go to the Illinois State Court just so they can secure their names to get their candidates on the debate stage or on the ballot.
Yeah, because these two parties, especially the Democrats, do not like democracy.
And neither do the Republicans. The Republicans are more than happy to do bipartisanship work to stop a third-party candidate from being on the debate stage. And that's why you need someone like Chris Hedges as a campaign manager so he can swim through that sewer that is American politics.
Yep, he can definitely make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.